Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and hi if you're new here. I'm Jade, and today I have a advent calendar unboxing. Now I have to preface this by saying I was like, I'm going to treat myself to a bookish advent calendar this year, and I just really struggled to find any. It was actually super disappointing what I found, and I kind of feel like I should just make my own. So I think next year's project is going to be make a bookish advent calendar with me, unless any nice companies out there want to make some really good ones that are still fall into a more affordable range, because I do have one coming that is super exciting, but it's definitely towards the higher end, and I just couldn't really find many options. So for those of you that have been looking like me for bookish advent calendars and not coming up with a lot, I have here a nice delivery. It actually has two inside, but they're technically the same but different colors, and I don't know if they have different things in, so I just thought I would test them both for you by ordering both, and we can see. So let me open it. Oh, they gave me like a free little Christmas ornament with like little kitties on. Isn't that cute? That's cute. Okay, so these are the two advent calendars that I have got. As you can see, kind of the same thing. They are a box. Inside, I think, are meant to be like little ornaments of little mini books. At first impression, because if you've been looking like me for bookish advent calendars, these have probably come up a lot. They are on Amazon, they are on Temu, they are everywhere. Very cheap. They sometimes have long import waits or delivery fees, but I did manage to find this actually on an Amazon next day delivery. But I will say, from first impression, they actually feel quite good quality. I think they could make just quite good decor on their own, honestly. So I paid, I think, $33 for both, which I don't think's terrible. For my UK viewers, that's probably the equivalent to about £25. So yeah, not bad at all, depending on what's inside. Now, what I will say about this one is I've noticed on the top it says LitJoy's Little Library Adventure. So LitJoy, from my knowledge, is a book subscription company. So I am like, are these left over from old stock? Because I didn't have anything come up from LitJoy when I was searching for bookish advent calendars. Have they done a knockoff version, over in China, and it's meant to copy and replicate that? Or is it just a coincidence it says LitJoy? I doubt it's a coincidence, but I guess we'll see. Let's start with this one, shall we? Let's unbox this one first. So this one is classed as the red one. Now, I have seen a lot of like what are called red and green ones, and they definitely look very different on the picture to this, and I'm pretty sure it looked different on the picture I ordered from. The blue one looks very much like I expected. This one looks different, but let's see, shall we? Let's unbox it. Okay, so this is what it looks like upon opening, which is much more like I expected from the pictures. The box is just a lot better quality, honestly, than I expected. They are upside down, so this is number one. But yeah, let's see, shall we? Let's see. So let's open number one. Okay, the string is not attached, but I have a mini version of Wuthering Heights. Hopefully you can see that. I mean, you can tell it's cheap, okay? But it's not bad. And it actually has, like, I think chapter 1 in here. It looks like, I don't want to waste, like, your time and make this video super long by, like, reading the whole thing, but I think it does actually have chapter 1 printed inside, which is kind of cute, I guess. But ultimately, these are just printed little bits of paper made in to be a little Christmas ornament. But then this isn't expensive. So honestly, if they're all okay like this, I don't think maybe it's bad value for what it is. And honestly, I put a Christmas tree up in my office, and because I keep, a lot of my books in here and everything, I think some of these could look cute on my Christmas tree. But now we got the gist. I'll move it a bit faster so you're not watching for 10 years, but so you can see what books I have in this one. Number 2, Emma by Jane Austen. It's very, very blurry. It's not a very good quality, but it's still cute, I guess. Number 3 is Little Women. That one looks a lot better quality, I will say. It's also a lot thicker, this one, so I'm pretty sure they have actually put the full first chapters in here. Like, am I going to sit and read these? No, but I mean, it's a nice little detail that they have in them. Number 4 is The Wind in the Willows. Number 5 is Jane Eyre. I think that's quite pretty. Number 6 is A Christmas Carol. Number 7 is Treasure Island. Number 8 is A Little Princess. Number 9 is Pride and Prejudice, which is one of my favourite books, so that's kind of exciting for me. Number 10 is Sense and Sensibility. Again, this one looks a little bit blurry. Number 11 is The Secret Garden. Number 12 is The Count of Monte Cristo. Number 13, The Call of the Wild by Jack London. Again, this one's very blurry. The Grimm's Fairy Tales. This one's very clear in comparison, so there's no real consistency here. Number 15 is The Great Gatsby. Number 16 is Midsummer Night's Dream. Number 17 is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Number 18 is Anne of Green Gables. Number 19 is The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, but there is typo. I don't know if you can see it, but in the Adventures of, yeah. You know, I just glanced down and I noticed there's also a typo on this one, the Grimm's Fairy Tales one. You know, I'm looking back at a few of them now and there's definitely a few typos. Yeah, that's where they are let down. Otherwise, this would be so cute. Number 20 is definitely meant to be the picture of Dorian Gray, but that's not what it says. Number 21. It says 20,000 Leagues Under the Sex, but I think it might meant to be C. Number 22 is The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Again, the writer's name is wrong. Number 23 is Peter Pan. Number 24 is Romeo and Juliet by not William Shakespeare, apparently. And finally, number 25 is Persuasion, which isn't by Jane Austen, apparently either. Okay, so that is the first one unboxed, and I thought it started out really cute, but then I started to notice the mistakes, and I've just gone through them, and I would say most of them do have a slight typo in them. I don't know if that's to avoid copyright issues or something, but I do think they're kind of cute. And you know, if you're not looking super closely, they're okay. They're a really good idea, and they do genuinely have, like, you know, the first chapters in them. They are just plain on the back. I don't know if I showed you that, but yeah, I mean, a little bit disappointing. I had slightly higher hopes, I'm not gonna lie, but it was cheap. I didn't expect anything perfect, and I still think they're cute. I love the idea of mini books, and I know you can buy like nice ones, but they are super expensive. So if you do want a tree, like bookish tree on a budget, and you don't think people are going to look too closely, honestly, I still think this will look cute. But just bear that in mind, that, you know, there are mistakes, quite a lot of them. Okay, I've packed it all away again. So I think we can safely say that this is not, you know, old LitJoy calendars, because they wouldn't have been of that quality. I do wonder if the box is genuine, because it's actually really good quality. I don't know. I mean, maybe they're really easy and cheap to produce themselves to copy them, but I don't know. I kind of feel like they've used the original boxes and then like filled it with cheap stuff. So yeah, I do have a bad feeling that the next one is going to be exactly the same with the exactly same books. But you know, if it turns out that way, I can say, hey, I did it for you guys, so you don't have to buy it, just to see. Because I'm sure if you're like me and you have seen these everywhere, you've been curious too. And so I've taken the hit. You can see for yourself if you would want to spend this much money on these. So this one does not say anything about a branding or anything, but again, the box feels pretty good quality. I will say on both, once you've opened them, they do sort of ping forward a little bit, but I still think they could make nice decor. Like, honestly, I kind of feel like the box is the best bit with these, but you know, we've got to give this one its due. We've got to give it a try. So this is this one on inside. It follows the blue pattern, so sort of like bluey green boxes. They are upside down again. So I don't have much hope. I do feel like these are going to be the same books, but let's open and see if they're the same. I want to do the first few on camera, and then we'll just skip to the end and review these calendars, because I don't need you to sit through all of that again. Time for number 1, Wuthering Heights. Deja vu. Let's test with one more. What's number 2? Emma, and it's blurry. Okay, I think we can see what's happening here, guys. I'm going to open a few more, check them, but I will get back to you in a minute. Okay, I opened a few just to check, and yes, they are exactly the same. So even though they sell, I'm like, oh, like, what colors do you want? Do you want both? Like, I think if they had done different ones in each one, that would have been kind of cool. But yeah. So now if you've come looking for this because you're curious about these, like me, you have your answers. Now, if it wasn't for the typos, I would actually think they're really good value for money. So yes, the decorations are not really good quality, but like literally I paid like I said, $33 for both of these. So that makes each decoration probably worth what, like, I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and do actual math here, but I'm gonna say like 40 cents each, like nothing. Plus, you're getting the actual boxes, which I think are quite good. I feel like if people sold these on their own, honestly, they'd be at least $5, probably more like $10 just for the box alone. So I don't think they're bad value, but obviously the typos kind of just ruin it a little bit. But like I said, if you're not going to pay like full close attention, I still think they're cute. I think if you hung a few on a tree, no one's going to notice. So if you do want decorations on a budget that are very bookish, it is an option. You know, I'm not going to say it's not, because we all have different budgets, and sort of bookish tree decor is really expensive. I've looked at some other ones, like some actual brands that make very similar things to this that I have seen around, not the same, but like they do like mini books and one on Advent. Most of them cost more in the region of $150. So, you know, price wise, you know, there's no comparison. The others are very expensive. I'm sure you get the quality, obviously, but that's just something to bear in mind. But these are definitely just like knockoffs. But I hope you've enjoyed unboxing it with me anyway, and just seeing what's in there, because as I said, if you're like me, you've probably been curious and has seen these around everywhere online. So yeah, now we have our answers, and hopefully the next advent calendar I will bring to you, as long as it arrives soon. It has just shipped, but it is coming from California, and it's already taken 2 days to just sit in California. So I don't know how long it's going to take to arrive. But the next one is by an independent business, a smaller brand business. They had a little bit of issues with their advent calendars last year, but they have brought out this like bookstore one, which is like stationery based, but it just looked really cute, and it is expensive, I will say, but I have high hopes that it's going to live up to my expectations, because I have never had a nice advent calendar ever. Like, I've never treated myself to an expensive one. And so even though it cost me almost $150, I've just never treated myself. And, you know, I've started my own business this year. Business is picking up. And I was like, you know what? I deserve a treat. So that's my treat to myself. So please subscribe, come back, watch that one if you're intrigued by it. And hopefully we get something a little bit nicer than this. Anyway, see you again real soon. Bye.